Tyler Linville, number 52, is the George Kell Motor Company Player of the Game. And let me tell you what, a lot of times we don't get to talk to guys who wear numbers like this, but this guy played a tremendous football game. And Tyler, talk a little bit about the 35-0 victory over Osceola Seminoles tonight. Big win for us.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty good game. If they would have beat us, they would have went to playoffs. Hopefully they lose to Rivercrest.
Hey, let me ask you this, young man. You do a great job playing on both sides of the football.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about preparation during the week from a mental standpoint to a physical standpoint. How does all that work out, especially when you play on both sides?
Well, you know, we practice a lot of the same thing throughout the week.
Right.
And we just go through the same drills, learn it, get it through our mind, practice all week.
Game plan, bring it in, and come and execute the game plan. And offense, defense, do you have a preference on which you play?
I'd rather play offense.
Rather play a little offense, is
yes,
that
sir.
right? And you're in there, I mean, you could play guard, you play tackle, you play center, you can play tight end, you can play anywhere in that offensive line. You do a great job out there for sure. But talk a little bit about the guys you were lining up against tonight. How well did you play tonight?
They was pretty big. I thought it'd be a little tougher than it was. They were soft.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but had a little speed.
Yeah.
Had a little speed.
Speed
and,
got us a little bit.
And I thought the offensive line, I mean, you're being a junior and you're playing around a bunch of sophomores, and you get Deshaun and Darrell. And of course, Darrell a junior, Deshaun one of the seniors. But you guys got a young football team. We got a lot of football to play this year, but boy, what things are looking up for the Greyhounds.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about, we got another week. We've got Manila. We're in the playoffs. We know we're in the playoffs. Yes, we got to concentrate on Manila. What will it be like this week in practice? How will it go this week when it's going to be our last football game? It's going to be our last home game for the 6 seniors, but we're probably going to get a home playoff game, but be an emotional game anyway. And playing for a conference championship this Friday night, playing for a tie. How will that be?
I think it's going to be one of our hardest practices. Probably long practices. Working on more blocking.
Yes, sir.
Outside.
Yes, sir. And a man who likes offense is dear to my heart because I was an offensive, defensive player, and I always liked offense too. I was an old offensive lineman and scored a couple of touchdowns. We blocked a punt one time. But anyway, I appreciate your hard work. I think you guys do a marvelous job, and I know y'all work hard, and big things going to happen for the Newport Greyhounds, and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Tyler Linville, he is our George Kell Motor Company's star of the game. This guy plays hard. He's in the trenches. He's in there offensively. He's in there defensively. He's a tough kid. Way to go, Tyler. I guess when you win 35-0, you get tall and big and everything. Look how much bigger Coach Hinesley is than
you
me.
know it.
Congratulations, my friend. 35-0. The Hounds win a big one on the road against the Osceola Seminoles. Talk a little bit about this big victory for the Hounds.
All I can talk about really is, I always talk about the kids about playing consistent. And they come out the first quarter, showed off a little bit. Second quarter, I thought we flattened a little bit. And I went into halftime, and the only adjustment we made was just talking about the effort we're going to play with the second half. And they come out and did just that. Defensively, that we tightened up a few things that we just thought needed to be tightened up, mainly leverage issues. And the kids come out and just played lights out. Offensively, I thought we were kind of sloppy with the ball first. Well, actually, in just the second quarter, I thought we lost the ball in key positions on the field. I thought, we just need to be tightened up in the third and fourth quarter. They come out, guns blazing, and
yes, sir,
I can't be any happier for how the kids, produce the second half.
Yeah, both sides of the ball. And, you look back on the game, and I mentioned to you before we go on the broadcast, big defensive stand, another fourth down, and we hold those guys. And then we get a 98-yard little toss and run by Jay Cright. At the time, it's a winning touchdown. You don't know it at the time. But what a couple of big plays in the football game early.
Well, you can always really test a good defense by fourth down stops and goal line stands and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, our kids have had a number of fourth and short and goal line stands this year. And I really do believe that just comes from their toughness and how hard they really work. And what I'm more proud of than anything is our D-line, how coming off of last week, I questioned our D-line and how they played and did it all week, and then they come out and played, because that was a big line too. There's no question about it. And they played tough in the trenches, and that's what I was more proud of than anything.
Coach, I mentioned this on air with Randy C. and we were talking during the game. I've been broadcasting for 34 years, and I played many, many years ago. So I've been around this old game for 50 years. I don't remember a Newport Greyhound football team with as many fourth down stops as these kids have done. I mean,
Yeah.
including the goal line. It's more than a handful. It's been
Yeah.
phenomenal.
You know
how
what?
many we've gotten.
And you know, obviously they know it's fourth down, but our kids are real smart and they retain knowledge about what's going to come next or what's going to come on fourth downs, and they're just smart football players. They really are. When it really comes down to stops like that, they just know what to expect. And you know, and on top of that, just playing good leverage and just being tough. You know, that's good. That's good defense.
You know, you always talk about getting that edge on defensively and
Yeah.
holding the edge and every time that we didn't do it tonight, I thought we got held. I
Yeah.
thought they were holding us all night long, and every time that they would get to the edge,
Yeah.
it was because we got tackled.
I know.
the guy
I know.
that was holding.
You know, and you're right, because there's a few times, you know.
Yes.
But even though some of the times that we're being held, what you really need to look for when you watch the replay of this broadcast is watch the kid that's getting held. And a lot of times it was little Berto or
Right.
it was Jordan Neal who got outweighed by a lot of those guys.
Right.
But they continue to fight to their leverage.
Yes, sir.
And they kept trying to do their job. And when you have kids that really they're trying to keep their leverage because that's what we expect them to do. You know, that makes me proud to be their coach.
Well, another shutout for the Hounds. But I want to say this, and you'll see it on the film too. Our split receivers, our wideouts blocked as well tonight. I mean, they locked up on cornerbacks and just stayed on and stayed on and stayed on. I thought they blocked as well as any receiving corps has ever blocked for the Greyhounds.
And let me throw some props out there to Coach Reynolds. He truly believes in barrier blocking. He truly
Right.
believes in getting the hips even with those hips and just continue, just having a barrier block, staying
Sure.
between it and the ball. And he preaches it daily. And I had some coach that was shadowing him, and he said, and he really believes in that barrier blocking. I said, you dang right he does, because that's what he So Coach Reynolds believes in something, he's going to teach it to the
And
very
it
end.
works.
And it works. So
Yes, sir.
you can't complain with it.
A lot of times you see football teams that don't block from those wide receiver positions and just
Makes a difference.
All of a sudden
The same-
the plays don't work
Well,
offensively.
the same edges we're talking about defensively is because receivers usually get
Right.
that edge. Well,
Absolutely.
it means everything for setting an edge.
Yes,
so,
sir. Yes, sir. Big victory for the Hounds. We've got another one left, and obviously we'll be playing for a share of a conference championship this week against Manila, and it'll be a big ball game at home. Hope we have a big crowd.
I hope we have a huge crowd. The kids are pumped up for it. They really are. Because it means something to these seniors. It does, and even though we're going to continue to play football after next week, it means something that this game, could be their last game at home.
Absolutely.
And man, they're pumped up for it. So
Absolutely.
I'm ready to go.
Hey, I'm excited about it too, and playing for a conference championship. And I just look back to last year about this game in the year, and I was thinking, and we kept talking.
Yeah.
Guys, we're coming. We're going to get there.
Yeah.
We got a good group. Help is on the way.
Yeah.
Help has arrived. Hey, we're playing at a high level. Even last week's football game, we lost to a real good football team. We lost to a Gosnell football team earlier this year. We beat a great football team in
Yeah.
Piggott by making a play. So, I mean, our kids are playing at a high level.
Well, they are, and they're still learning. You've got a sophomore quarterback out
Right.
here who, I questioned some things in the locker room at halftime.
Right.
But then that sophomore comes out and gets flatlined out here, but drops a dime
He did.
on Jake Wright.
He did.
So I went up to him and I shook his hand. I said, "I'll never question you again." Hey, and that's me to a sophomore.
Yes,
but
sir.
that kid plays at a different level.
Yes, sir,
he
he
really
does.
does. And every week I feel like he gets better. I feel like every week he becomes more of a leader. And man, I can't be any happier for that kid on how he's developed as a quarterback.
He
as a
has
sophomore.
done well, no doubt about it, no doubt about it. Well, I'm excited for the Hounds, and of course, each and every week y'all have to crawl up these old stands and talk about the game, and boy, I appreciate it. And,
Tyler Linville.
yes, sir.
I could have brought him majority of the ball games that we come to.
Absolutely.
And I've said this always about Tyler. He just looks like a boxer. He's
Yeah,
just
he does,
he's
doesn't
a
he?
fighter,
Yeah.
and that kid is one of the quietest, hard-working kids on that football team. And he doesn't talk about what he does, but I'm telling you, when he goes out there, watch him on a play. He gives
I do.
everything he's got.
He does, doesn't he?
And I'm glad we got him.
Yes, sir. I'm glad he's on our team.
I'm telling you.
The Subway end of the game report, the coaches report, Subway and the Walmart Supercenter coach Hansley. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate y'all.
I think the Hounds are where we need to be. We're fighting hard. We're fighting for a conference championship. Join us this Friday night at Greyhound
Absolutely.
Field.